Hello, guys. Welcome back to the Big Screen Show. My name is Victor,
I'm Alex.
and we're back bringing you guys another review for The Penguin. We're discussing The Penguin, episode 2 now. Inside Man, we're in week 2. Originally week 1 premiere Thursday. Now moving on to week 2 and onwards will be Sunday weekly. So we're bringing you guys these videos most likely on Tuesdays moving forward. I was occupied this Monday, so we didn't have time to record it, which is why it's now coming to you on Wednesday. But nonetheless, we are here. We're discussing The Penguin. Alex, episode 2 is out, man. And it keeps building and it keeps being great. What are your thoughts?
Oh yeah, it's a really good. I know it's a really good, solid episode. I will say it's not as good as the very first episode, but I still like how it's still keeping more with like the intensity and more going more intimate with like the stakes of like the mob between like the Maronis and the Carmine family, specifically the Carmine family, especially a lot more exploration into Sophia Falcone and like her place within the Falcone family, which again I really love, especially the actress who's portraying her. She is like done so amazing well consistently every single time. And honestly, really great chemistry match with Colin Farrell's Oz, and the way they just go
Mm,
and the way they just talk and the dialogue with each other is just so good. It's even getting way more in moments with Oz, basically just kind of just being literally just really maneuvering his way around these situations that he gets
slippery.
hopped up in. Yeah, slippery. I mean, Colin Farrell, he's just nailing it every single time. What else more can you
Yeah.
say? But honestly, yeah, another really great, strong episode. But again, not as great as the first one, but it's still amazing, living up to the hype. That really great consistency that we're really hoping continues on for these last other episodes.
I fully agree. I definitely enjoyed episode 1 more. Like, but again, that is not to say episode 2 was not great in its own right. Like, I loved it as well. Episode 1 just kind of has this certain one thing about it, and this one is just a little different. But I love that you're right. Like, I mean, that opening scene, right? We're focusing on Sophia, and she's like having these like flashbacks of her in Arkham, and it's very intense. So off rip, it's very tense. It's very dark. It's very kind of crazy, like her, And I think it was a great episode to focus on her because if you really think about it, I think it works great. The pacing of this show so far is fantastic, and here's why: because you took, in general, only 2 episodes to get to basically the end of step 1. At least is how I'm looking at it, right? Which is getting to what happened at the end of episode 2, this current episode that just came out. We have the alliance now between Sophia and Oz, right? That was the and that is the ultimate goal of this first step. Now we have that. Now that we have that, then we move on with that partnership moving forward, and we'll get to that eventually. However, it only took 2 episodes to get there, and they did it amazingly with focusing the first episode on Oz and focusing the second episode on Sophia, ultimately culminating in their alliance at the end of episode 2, and then boom, step 1 of the show is done. And I love that. Pacing wise, that works great because, say a Disney Plus show or a Netflix show or something else would take, like, if it's a 10 episode series, they would take 5 episodes to get to that point. And it's like, one, a waste of time, and two, gives less time to develop what happens after the fact. So I love that we did that in just 2 episodes, because now we have 6 episodes of pure whatever the hell is about to happen along these roads. And if anything, we even have ample amount of time to potentially, we created the partnership. Now we uh live in this partnership and level up, and potentially even have time at the end, depending on how it goes. Again, we don't know how it goes, but if it goes potentially in a certain way, bring it back crashing down again. You know, like, we
Yeah,
have
yeah,
that time. So I think it's great. Pacing wise, it works fantastically.
yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, and so with that, I think I like just specifically just I'm gonna bring out this random incident just because I really want to focus on that for a second. But in this episode, we have uh Berto's funeral, right? And in that funeral, she gets Sophia gets confronted by a cousin, I think, talking about, oh, we used to be so close, blah blah blah. And then she has a daughter, and she talks to the daughter, and of course, because Sophia's crazy and was in Arkham, and has killed people and things, the mother of this child is being protective and gives her kind of like not the very most welcoming and most greatest type of reaction to Sophia talking to her child. And Sophia, there was that one pan where the mother of this child kind of oversteps a little, at least as far as Sophia is concerned, and she just turns her head and gives her that look, and boom, right there, I was like, oh, because she's just got it. Like, she just got it. She's got it. It's that face, it's that aura, it's that vibe. She's got it. I don't know what it is. I don't know what the word is, but she's got it. And I am a fan, and I like her, and I am just so floored when she's on the screen, like the camera. She has one of those faces that attracts your attention, even if Oz and her are on the screen, or if her and the rest of the family's on the screen, whatever the case may be. She attracts your eye to her regardless of who else on the screen. She's very polarizing, but like a magnet, just you want to come back to her at all times. She is great.
No, yeah, a really commanding presence, even when like in the most subtleties or even like the smallest moments.
Yes. Yeah, yeah, yeah. She does it in a very subtle way too sometimes. Oh dude, it's just so good. And then okay, and then on Oz's side of thing, this guy, I mean, talk about get out of a sticky situation. I mean, get out of a sticky situation. And he does it in the most Oz way, which is also the most brilliant way at the same time. Like, oh, dude, I don't know. Like, Colin Farrell keeps proving that he was made for this. Is further. It also, he keeps being impressive to me by adding the layer of just, again, he's Irish. He's Irish. So to me, I didn't know that prior to starting the show. And he's Irish, so he doesn't just have an Irish accent. He has a thick Irish accent, like a thick one, like truly, truly thick Irish accent. And for him to go full on like New York mobster type beat from like the 70s accent here for the Penguin, and then in this second episode, he added, when he went and visited his mother, the Spanish level to it, because he was talking to this, the tenant who was supposed to look over his mom sometimes, and he added the Spanish vibe to it. Not only that, but he spoke that Spanish with him having the 70s mobster New Yorker accent in it too. Like, I don't know how to explain if that makes sense, but that's what he did, and that is, dude, that is so impressive to me. Like, this guy is insane. I was talking with my cousin the other night. Depending on how this show ends, dude, this guy has to come up in Emmy considerations for best male actor in the leading role for this role.
No,
I'm just
yeah,
saying.
yeah, absolutely, 100%.
Yeah, what are your, yeah, and what are your thoughts? What are you thinking? I mean, all this stuff is just so impressive to me. Like, he's really killing it, she's really killing it. They're both leading the charge. I mean, the show is called The Penguin, but I really feel both of their energies, both of their presence in this show is equally as important and good. Like they're both at the same level of quality, and they're both really leading the charge here on the show, which is great.
No, yeah, absolutely, yeah. I mean, you said it best with all of that. Honestly, you said it best.
Yeah, I mean, sheesh, like, it's great. And then So obviously in this episode, Penguin has to obviously basically find a what is that word in crime? I forget it. There's a word. A dummy?
A
What's
fall
it
guy.
called? A fall guy. There we go. Duh. But they're trying to find. He has to obviously find a fall guy. And on the other side of things, Sophia is like, there's a rat in the building, and
Mhm.
I'm trying to find the rat in the building. And side note, just on a script level of writing that out, that is genius. It works so well for this episode. It's like, and it works so well in this world, in this universe, because one's trying to find the rat, but the other one's trying to find the fall guy because he is the rat, and it's like, and it obviously it creates for some very tense moments. It obviously lets Oz show his his slitheriness, if you will. You know, he's just, dude. He gets in that scene after he killed a dude, which also just goes to show you that everything is off the tables here on this show. If he needs to kill, he'll kill. Like, that's just what it is, you know? No holds barred. And I love that about this show. It really is exactly how it needs to be, especially in this universe that Matt Reeves has created that's like so dark and has this certain palette to it. But after he did that, and we're now searching, for the rat amongst all of the family's employees, if you will, I was like, he's fucked. He's fucked. How is he getting out of this? How is he getting out of this? And lo and behold, this genius, like, he gets out of it. Oh my God. That scene was great, by the way.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It is thing, and the main thing is how it literally took this whole episode for him trying to plan just to try and make it seem that one of the Falcone men, Johnny Vitti, who again him and Oz literally do not like each other. Like seriously, Johnny V does he not even respect Oz? Like he's literally the only person as so far who's literally called him Penguin, like
Mm,
literally, like that's
that's
never
right.
been that's never that's name that wasn't even used in the Batman, and we're now seeing it
That's right.
firsthand in this episode. The whole
Yeah,
plan was literally for Oz to literally make Johnny V the fall guy, but then after
right.
the fact that Victor kind of failed his mission to implant all the evidence and stuff like in his own car to make him seem like it literally turned the tables and made Sophia Falcone's right hand man Castillo be the fall guy for that instance, since basically Oz killed Irvod, who was like one of the Maroni crime family's men that was basically set up at the beginning of the episode for this whole like for the whole drops heist that Oz was setting up
Right.
beforehand. So yeah, the fact that he literally had to think about it and in that specific moment and to switch it on a dime like that,
On a dime.
that's very quick thinking for Oz, and just shows he will literally do whatever it takes to survive in this game to get ahead.
Yes.
And that
Yes.
even
No.
even yeah, that was amazing split second decision too. Because I honestly thought it was trying to go for like when he was trying to pin the knife on somebody, it was gonna be on Johnny V. But then I'm thinking like,
Uh huh.
oh no,
Same.
that's like oh man, that's like way too obvious. Since he was basically trying to basically cause a whole chaos and outcry by fighting him. But the fact that he turned it against Castillo and basically was questioning Sophia was basically questioning who she could trust, thus improving the relationship for Oz, for her to help him gain the greater advantage, take control of the crime family. I mean, oh my God, this is like only a split second decision. He didn't have any much time to prepare. He literally just did it.
Literally speechless. Like, yes, that's exactly right. Like, you said it, you hit it on the nail, and that's exactly what it was. And, dude, it's just so good. Like,
uh,
God, I love seeing him work. I love seeing him work. Also, we got some new fits here. Never seen Oz in a leather jacket. Thought it looked great.
yeah,
Thought it looked great.
surprisingly, yeah, he did. Yeah, it was a dope jacket. It was a dope jacket.
Yeah, yeah, I like it. I like that we're giving. Oz different flavors here. I like it. Because usually we stay within a certain, so to speak, box here and there, if you will.
The
But
classic boxed in style, like we see from other projects and stuff like that, and like the whole
right,
superhero comic book style
right,
stuff.
right. Where here, hey, no, we're actually on the we're doing this we're doing this thing, and for this I'm wearing a leather jacket, for example, and or I'm going to this funeral. Now that requires now this, and which, by the way, I love that jacket as well, by the way. Like, he looked great, and he had that coat on top of the, yeah, like the funeral fit was fire too. Like, just everything is looking great, like visually everything is looking great, aesthetically, everything works. Like, it's really, 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 really great. I will say though, what are your thoughts on Vic so far?
I feel like for Vic, his fate is a kind of bit uncertain, but I think the fact he really needs to start learning to really pick up his involvement in this, because like he messed up huge in this thing, because like literally Oz literally
He
kicked him,
almost got
like he
Oz killed.
yeah, he literally kicked Victor into the grave, saying like, "Okay, you feel that sensation? That with the dead bodies there? Okay, either smarten up and learn to think quicker, or or you're gonna be there." Because even though Oz took mercy on him and literally took him on, Oz. It's been shown Oz will literally kill him at any moment if you feel like he's not pulling his weight or doing anything that's actually gonna help him. If he's just gonna cause more trouble, then you are of no use to me, and I will kill you. And honestly,
Hmm.
I'm not quite sure how Victor's fate is going to be. By the end of it, he's going to maybe, hopefully, improve to show he can be Oz's right hand man, or he's going to have to be the new fall guy and end up catching a bullet by the end of it. It's kind of unknown.
Hmm.
It's in
Hmm.
flux.
Right, right. So I just hope that it actually does pan out for the better, because if by the end of the show this it pans out for the worse, I will actually consider that a failure on the side of script writing, because at that point I would have just said, better to leave him off the script and just not create the character overall.
I
Again,
wouldn't take
again,
it that way.
patience, patience. I patience. Like I said, it depends. We don't know. 6 more episodes. We don't know. But so far, just I'm just saying. I'm being. That's what I'm trying to say. Is that is the one variable in everything I have been shown so far, where if something doesn't pan out from it, I will consider it a negative, if that makes sense. Because
Okay.
everything else is working well. It's working well. Sophia, the Falcons, Maroni's, Oz, the world, the situation, the drugs, the drops, etc. Everything is working in a nice little ecosystem. Everything is feeding one another, and everything just, 1 plus 1 equals 2 here. I just think there's a variable, which is Vic, that is a little. Again, I'm not saying it's bad so far. Everything is fine. First you pick up the stray cat, and then now you gotta train the cat, because the stray cat just peed on your floor when you told him to pee outside. I don't know, weird way to put it, but it makes sense. So, um, that's kind of where it is right now, and that's fine. But I'm just saying, if by the end of it the cat was useless, that's a negative, because we could have just not even brought in the cat to begin with.
Yeah, it feels a bit more limited on your part there, but I get what you're saying. But I don't
You
think
get what I'm
it's gonna.
saying, though.
Yeah, I get it, but I don't think it's gonna be a waste either way, especially depending on the outcome. Because again, as we've seen so far, the writing is strong. So I think, however it
I
plays
agree.
out, the writing is gonna do it justice.
Well, I hope so, and I also have that faith. I'm just saying, because I just want to be truthful, that if they could, I guess what I'm really trying to say is that if they could fuck up anything, it could be that, because everything else I see as basically almost flawless perfection. That's that's
Okay.
that's basically what I'm trying to say. Is that
Honestly,
go ahead? Sorry.
yeah, but yeah, I was yeah. So either way. I still have believe it's gonna work out the way I believe it to, and the writing's still gonna be just as strong. But again, you voiced your opinion. But I will say to moving on to Sophia, again, for the most part, it definitely shows how the crime family, the Falcon family, really does not think much of her or even want her to be around. Because as we
No.
see at the funeral thing, literally everyone just basically just labels her as like the outcast, this crazy woman where she shouldn't even be like out around the world. Even more so when her cousin basically tried to fake being nice, but right when her daughter came around, he's like, "Okay, nope, step back. I don't want you anywhere near my daughter." So like, everything just all seems kind of fake. Or even her own uncle, Carmine's brother, basically does not want her to have any establishment of any power or even like any control of any situation where it turns out she's more smarter than the rest of them. But again, there's also a more commonality between her and Oz where they all constantly underestimate them. And also again, why it seems like more of a better pairing for Oz and Sophia to team up together, even though at the beginning Oz was basically just trying to like more appeal to her, how the fact that everyone else is underestimating her, but like again, he still is trying to manipulate her, but she still sees that. But again, he's reworking it differently, where he's trying to be like kind of more open and honest and vulnerable, but not too much. Because they found out after the funeral, Oz still basically trying to tell Sophia about the fate of his brothers and how they didn't really have like any type of burial, funeral, or anything like that. But again, also made up the lie that his mother died. But as we know,
Hmm.
she's alive and well. But again,
Hmm.
that's a major weak spot for him, and that's why he doesn't say anything about his mother being alive. Because if they find out about that one, then he's vulnerable and open to anything.
Hmm. And you know, when he said that, I started thinking that potentially, if shit goes bad for Oz in a certain specific way and at a certain level of bad, and that lie gets unraveled, dude, Mama Oz is in danger. Or Mama Oswald is in danger, and that could be bad because, dude, that could be a whole thing. Like, they go and like capture his mother or something, or like, dude, I don't know, I don't know, mob shit. But like, I'm just like, oof. But I agree with him. She's dead. People don't need to know. My mother's dead. Oh, boohoo, sad. But too. I live in too much of a dangerous uh work field, if you will, a field of work. I live in too much of a dangerous field of work for anyone to know my most valued secret, or my most, it's value. He loves his mother, and there's nothing that he loves more in the world than his mother. Therefore, he wants to protect her at all costs, and the easiest way to do that is to put her in a place no one else knows. One, and two, just if anybody asks, my mother passed away like 5 years ago,
Yeah,
for example.
yeah. So he's always on the defensive, constantly keeping things
Isn't he?
going.
Isn't he? He
Yeah.
just on it. God, that's honestly facts. That's another thing. Like, adding that line there of like, and my mother passed away. Like, that's another layer of like him just. Oh, he's so witty and he's so like, oh.
Yeah, yeah. Here's the show. He just has like a different type of thing with each different thing. He's either the jokester, he's like the loyal soldier, he's the turncoat. He has like he plays a lot of different personalities and faces for any scenario. Like when he's trying to like play the Maronis and everything like from the beginning to then having to like give him the dirt on Johnny Viti, basically fucking Luca Falcone's wife, and all that stuff like that. So,
Mhm.
so with the whole combination of Sophia and Oz, and then Oz trying to maneuver with the Maronis, it's like it's a constant power play here. Like, how is this all gonna unravel? How's this gonna go? How is Oz gonna secure his place to be the kingpin of Gotham by the end of the season?
Man, well, step one's complete. We made our alliance. Um, Also, he has to work this in a very strategic way, which he also will, because if she and maybe potentially when she finds out that in reality he's the rat and all that he's done, oh man, because that woman is a ticking time bomb.
Oh yeah, I mean hell, she
Know that.
literally. Oh yeah, I mean hell, she's been literally in therapy and she's having these nightmares about Alberto, and the fact that she literally sleeps in her own closet to simulate her room that when she was in Arkham is like there
Mm,
was like May later, like she has like even the mention that when she said to her therapist like she's not safe, she's home, and it's like she's with her family, but there's really no safety net or anything there.
at all.
Her safety net was like her brother, the only one who cared about her. But now that he's gone, she's literally on her own. And the fact that she literally had to see her own right hand man get killed, and she believed that he was the rat all this time and stuff like that, she literally got to start questioning herself, and then she literally got to be on the defensive within her own family, even her own uncle.
Mm-hmm.
Which
Mm-hmm.
all
There you go.
yeah
And not to mention that in that last scene when she was, telling Oz that she was gonna partner with him, like that look she had and the way she like got her point across was scary. She was like, I'm taking this family down, but like I'm not like I will not be stopped. Like it was like I don't know, it was just very that was a very powerful message. Like it was like I'm coming for you guys and there's nothing you can do about stopping me, like at all.
Yeah, it's very personal, and also kind of makes me wonder about her time, like her whole hangman persona thing before she went to Arkham. I wonder how much of
Sure.
that influence has kind of been done within her family, even with her own father. And essentially, I'm pretty sure Oz also has something to do with it too, since he was kind of a part of the whole thing that led to her being in Arkham and had the whole hangman title and stuff too. So I cannot wait to see
Mm,
that unfold, see how all of that started. Because
yeah.
there's a lot of really built tension and everything for Sophia and the whole family, especially due to the fact that she's never been put into like any type of leadership position or gets any type of wording or say in this whole matter, which you can tell from like the way she's just kind of feels like ostracized by the rest of the family and the people.
Sure. Sure. Yeah, man. It's not the 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 pacing of it is great because it's just kind of like I consider this as like chapter one. Sometimes movies they have like chapter one XYZ and then do that and it's like and then chapter two. I consider this the end of chapter one. So I am so excited for next week's episode, or I guess technically this week's episode is the one that will come out this Sunday because I just know we're about to start really. Now we're grooving. Maybe we'll actually get. I think my prediction is we'll probably actually get a glimpse of like our first, so to speak, task within this partnership. Like the first step of becoming the new kingpins of Gotham. Um, and I'm just, yeah, I want it all. I want it more. I want more because it's so good. It's great.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
fantastic.
Oh yeah, and however this next episode is gonna go, they are definitely going after Johnny Vitti first. They're definitely going after him first.
You think so? I
Oh
mean, I
yeah,
know Oz
definitely.
wants to, but what's? Oh well, yeah.
I mean,
Sophia
think
hates him too.
yeah, and plus think about it, think about it, the Maroons also have like this whole blackmail file on him on Johnny Vitti and like Luca Falcone's wife. So like, there's
That's right.
it's definitely good to make sure like he gets taken off the board first, especially considering
Mm,
he's like the top right hand man of like Luca Falcone and like one of the capos or how it's called in like the Falcone crime family mafia world.
uh-huh. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah. Also, yeah, we can't forget the Maronis are in play here too, and they're not
Hmm.
happy. Yeah, so dude, I don't know, but shit's gonna hit the fan at some point. Know that. Absolutely it
Oh,
is.
oh yeah, oh, oh yeah. The Maroni family doesn't even know that one of their men is dead yet.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't
So
even know
shit's
that
gonna hit
yet.
the fan.
Oh,
Yeah.
this is getting better and better.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Because now you have all of that, and they're gonna think that one of the Falcons killed him because obviously Oz isn't gonna be like I killed him, and it'll, dude, yeah, it's gonna get, yeah, it's like it's getting sticky already. Like the building blocks are getting put in place, and now we're about to just start stacking and stacking and stacking, and it's gonna get sticky. So I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm excited. The quality is great. This episode is great, and I can't wait for episode 3. I feel like it's gonna be like the first one where like we start really seeing a bit of the sort of, shall we say, girth of what's to come. You know. So, anything else you like to add about the Penguin episode 2?
I think actually, I want to add more to this whole one thing involving like the whole class system where like they're like the crime families, like the Falcons with the rich at the funeral procession, and then it's kind of reflected with how like Penguin does, how Oz does his like his party stuff with like his girl Eve and the other women with his and like the other goons and stuff like that. Is kind of like a different reflection, like different classes as well. I thought that was like a nice little note to take of. Whereas
Oh
the
yeah,
rich got their like more expensive, like the expensive wine, the whole storage of like food and stuff like that. But then Oz and his guys, they always have to like they do like takeout foods and stuff
yeah,
from like the common drive
yeah.
takeout stuff like that.
Tacos, things like this. Yeah. Yep. Yep. Yep.
So yeah,
Yeah.
I feel like how the
It is
class thing is still taking effect, and again
absolutely.
a lot more. I listen to like the little tidbits where we still get the feeling how like Riddler's still an overarching presence over what he's done from like episode 1 with people on like the subway carrying like that Riddler barcode, and then in this episode 2 where it's like we're getting dry up on like the liquor and drinks and stuff because like you want to complain about it, go talk to the Riddler. He did all this.
Yeah. 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 And then you also just have a feeling that Bruce is somewhere out there, still kind of helping out some way. You would think maybe.
Oh yeah,
You know.
definitely. Because like crime rate in Gotham has gone up 42%, and so
Yeah.
I think
That's a
another
lot.
reason. Oh yeah, and places like he how I think also that's more reason about like why he's not really getting more into this whole like crime family stuff, which is a good thing. Keep that separate because again, he's got to focus on like the other parts of Gotham that need help, especially with like the crime running rampant, with like poverty and crime go hand in hand and everything,
Hmm.
as shown from
Hmm.
episode 1 when like Victor tried to steal Oz's wheels.
Yep. There you go. Yeah. It's a lot of it's just the Matt Reeves universe right now. It's alive and well, and everything has a synergy where it's working so well and all unified. And one thing, there's no like outlier. Like one thing does not stand out more than the other because everything is placed perfectly within inside of it. And actually, I would like to say this, and I want to hear your thoughts on it. I argue that Matt Reeves's Batman universe that he created is the greatest specific universe palette wise created for any live action superhero project or franchise.
Mm. I would say
Like
it
the
does.
palette itself, like the actual universe itself. I'm not talking about specifically the movie Batman or specifically, but I'm just talking about, like, for example, in comparison, we have the MCU universe, which is like very colorful, very light, like lots of, things like this, but this palette. And then we also have, like, for example, Chris Nolan's Dark Knight's Gotham's universe, but that one's more like real New York City, Chicago City, actual like filmed on location type thing, uh, type practical kind of universe with a different kind of color palette. Whereas like this one, the Matt Reeves one specifically, that is what I am arguing is the best actual palette wise universe that has been created in the superhero live action realm. Thoughts?
Uh, I would say it's definitely the top one, the top highest one pertaining to its quality, consistency, as for the most part of that. If you're talking about, if you're talking specifically on like the Batman stuff, especially since like the latest TV show for like the Batman property was Gotham, I will say this one for the Reeves verse and for the Penguin series, I feel like this quality and consistency is like done way better than that show by like
Oh yeah,
by like tenfold.
a, yeah, a country mile. Yeah, it's not even close.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, like, take a look at the penguin in that show. Like, that penguin does not work here at all.
Oh yeah, it wouldn't because it's just
Yeah,
made to be so way significantly deeper, as well as how the different methods and variations, and especially with how like they carry themselves.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's my take. This universe is the best, and it just works so well. It's like if it was a living organism, it'd be tip top shape, fully healthy.
Yeah, they said definitely like the more relatable universe too, and like the most realistic one they can even see happening in this day, which is odd. Which honestly makes sense considering that parts of like the southeast and stuff has had its own flooding and stuff most recently, and then
Oh
of
yeah.
course the crazy crime stuff that happens even in Georgia, as we both know.
Right. Right. Yep. Well, anything else?
I think that's it.
Okay. Well, that's gonna do it for us, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you don't know how things work around here, we try to bring you guys videos at least once a week, sometimes more. So please make sure to subscribe to the channel to join us on this journey and watch those videos. But if you like this video, the best way to let us know is by hitting that thumbs up button down there because it really does help us out. But with that being said, we are the Big Screen Show. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you guys very soon. Peace out.